Hello everyone. How is everyone doing today? Hi. Okay, yay, I'm excited to be here. Cool, so people are still trickling in, but let's just jump in, okay? I'm starting out with, I've got a limited time offer for you guys and then we're going into the workshop, but it's too good to not share at the very beginning. So during this call, if you join MILFU, you get $100 off plus a free 1 hour private session. So that's a $900 savings, but this offer expires as soon as the call ends. So it has to be bought during this call. I'm gonna drop it in the link in the chat for you guys, the sales page link. So you have that. And then let's get into it. Okay, everyone, meet Twiggy. Twiggy, raise your hand. Hey. So she's now on my team. You're gonna be seeing her a lot more on calls and just in the workshop. She's a fun time. But she's here to answer any questions that you guys have. So feel free to keep the chat going. She's in there to engage, answer any questions that you have. I'm also gonna have a Q&A at the end. So if I don't answer your question in the chat, don't worry, I'll get to it at the end. But she's been training with me for the last 2 years. So you guys are in good hands with this one. Cool.
Hi guys.
Hey. Okay, cool. We're gonna start out with some breath work, a quick little meditation to set the intent, and then we're gonna get into it. So everyone go ahead and get comfortable. Release the tension in your shoulders and your neck. Good, and we're gonna go ahead and close our eyes. Good, now I want you to put one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And you're gonna do a 4 count inhale. Hold for 2. 4 count exhale. Good, one more time, 4 count inhale. Hold for 2. And 4 count exhale. Good, now I want you to envision a golden energy about 400 feet above your head. And this is energy coming from God, Source, Universe, whatever word resonates with you. And you're gonna see it start to funnel and enter through the top of your head. And it's gonna fill your entire body, every hair, every cell, and every limb. Good, and you're gonna see a pink energy coming from the core of the earth. And it's gonna funnel up and enter through the bottom of your feet. And it's gonna fill your entire body, every hair, every cell, and every limb. Good. Now I want you to visualize your 7 chakras right in front of you. If you don't know what a chakra is, it's okay, just follow along with the meditation. But what we're gonna do is sometimes our chakras can get cracks in them, they can get holes in them. We're going to visualize those being repaired. Just all the pieces coming back together. And we're gonna fill them with the same gold energy that you just filled your body with, starting with the bottom chakra. So we're gonna fill chakra 7, chakra 6, chakra 5, chakra 4, chakra 3, 2, and 1. And once those are all repaired and filled with that golden energy, you're gonna see them come back into your body. Good, now I want you to visualize your aura. And sometimes we get holes and tears in those as well. So we are going to set the intention that we are repairing our aura, and we're also pumping it full of the gold energy coming from God, Source, Universe. Good, now we're setting the intention for this workshop to release all self-image limiting beliefs we've been holding on to that no longer serve us. Good, go ahead and give me one more 4 count inhale. Hold for 2. And 4 count exhale. One more time, 4 count inhale. Hold for 2. And 4 count exhale. Okay, you can open your eyes. I don't know about you guys, but I feel better. I feel energized. Okay, cool. We are going to start out with a mini science lesson of the brain. We're starting out with this so you can fully understand how trauma can affect the brain and how it operates when it comes to reacting, etc. So we have three significant parts that make up the brain. We've got the neocortex. This is the seat of your conscious mind. It's the largest part of the brain. It makes up about 40%. So think of this as the CEO of your brain. This is everything that you're consciously aware of. So your thoughts, your logic, the part of you that says, I shouldn't react like this, or I'll do better next time, right? So right now, your neocortex is listening to me and understanding the information. But here's the problem, is the neocortex alone doesn't change your life, right? This is just simply what you are conscious of. So this is the same reason why affirmations don't work. Because if you're just thinking positively, right, it doesn't always work, because the awareness without emotional rewiring changes nothing. So you can look in the mirror all the live long day and tell yourself, I'm a millionaire, and your subconscious brain's going, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not. And that's why affirmations don't work, but don't worry, we do have a solution. So then we have our visual cortex. This is located in the back of the brain. This is where our sight is processed, but it also connects the information to the body. This part of the brain stores long-term memories. It helps you distinguish between yourself and your non-self, and it rapidly integrates information into your nervous system. So right now, you're listening and understanding with your neocortex, and with your visual cortex, you're taking notes, absorbing, and anchoring this into your body. So this is why you have to emotionally feel what you're reprogramming, because thoughts alone aren't going to create that reality change that you're seeking, right? Emotion is what locks it in. So think of the basic breakdown of how thoughts create beliefs, beliefs create reality. But here's the wild part, is 80 to 90% of people wake up every single day having the same thoughts and they're not even aware of it, right? Because it's so subconsciously programmed into your brain, you're not even aware of the thoughts you're having. So if you have the same thoughts, then you're gonna have the same beliefs. And if you have the same beliefs, you're gonna have the same reactions. And if you have the same reactions, you're gonna have the same reality. And it's a cycle you're gonna stay in, right? So if every morning your subconscious is running and it's immediately waking up and going, I'm overwhelmed, motherhood's too much, I lose myself when I become a mom, I'm always on edge, I snap and feel guilty, then your life's going to feel the same every single day, because your reality is just one big giant reflection of what your brain believes to be true. So if we're desiring to feel calm in motherhood, we're not wanting to be as reactive, right? We want to stop snapping, shutting down, or disassociating. If we want to feel confident, grounded, magnetic, and in control, then we have to change the thoughts we've been thinking over and over again for years. We don't want to suppress them. We don't want to manage them. We want to fully reprogram them, yes? And this is how the identity changes. So right now, your identity might sound like, I'm just reactive, I'm overstimulated, I lose my patience fast, this is just how motherhood is, I love my kids but I feel trapped, or maybe it's I'm always last, right? So that identity is running your behavior automatically. It's not something you're consciously going throughout your day thinking about. So if you intend to be calm, present, and regulated as a mom, your behaviors also have to match this. So here's an example, right? If your intention is, I want to stay calm when my kid melts down, your internal behavior can also not be, I can't handle this, they're doing this on purpose, I'm failing, I need to stop this right now. And I'm not saying this, calling anyone out, like this used to be my exact programming, so I've been there, okay? But when you're feeling like that, right, your body's already in fight or flight before you even respond. We've all been there, yeah. Mom or not. 100%. But you can't intend to be calm while your subconscious is screaming that you're in a threat, that you need to be in a fight or flight situation, right? So this is why the subconscious brain matters so much, because you can logically think something all the live long day, but if your subconscious believes a totally different story, doesn't matter. Subconscious controls 90% of your brain, right? So that conscious 10%, it's cool, but you got 90% to deal with back here, right? So if you grew up being yelled at for every little thing, being dismissed, being punished for having emotions, aka go to your room and cry, feeling unsafe when things got loud or chaotic, your brain has now learned and programmed noise equals danger, needs equal threat, and emotion equals loss of control. So now, as an adult mom, your body reacts to your child like you're back in these moments, not because you're broken, right? But because your brain is trained to live in the past. So for me personally, I used to snap and have the worst temper. And when I became a mom, this amplified, right? I was like, oh, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be such a calm mom. No, this amplified. But it was a learned behavior that I learned at such a very young age. Now my parents, they did the best with what they had, right? But nonetheless, I did learn this from them. I got yelled at for every single thing. Like, so what did I do? I plugged in that into my brain that yelling is normal. And kids are sponges and they take on every single thing in their environment from about the age of 2 to 10 years old. So how you react not only affects you, but it also affects them, unfortunately. So you're training them on what is their normal, but that's okay. That's why we're here to heal it, right? But I had learned that the only safe way to respond is yelling. So if I was overwhelmed, I was yelling. If I was mad, I was yelling. If I was overstimulated, I'm yelling. Like, you get the picture. That's all I fucking did was yell. And then I got to the point where I was like, I'm tired of yelling. Why am I yelling at all this stuff all of the time? Like, this is exhausting. And anyway, as I got into this work and I started learning about neuroscience, intuition, all these things, I realized we're a loud family. It's true. Yes, we are. This is my aunt, everyone. She's joining the fun party today. But what I learned was this is a learned trauma response. So obviously this is only one example, but using that information, Mexicans are too. No, literally, it's like you're always yelling for something. So anyways, think of all the interactions that you've had with people that have caused you to like think and feel certain things about yourself, and you took those on as full-on beliefs. Now, it's not your fault that this happened to us, right? But it is our responsibility to take ownership for it and heal it so that way we're not hindered by it anymore, and we're not passing it down to our kids, because that's the last thing we want, right? And yes, this ties into manifesting, because you're manifesting more situations, circumstances, and events that will keep proving this true to your brain, because manifestation isn't always a practice. Like, yes, you can manifest on purpose for sure, but you're manifesting all day, every day, whether you realize it or not. Your thoughts are always creating, and they're either working for you or they're working against you. So what happens is your thoughts strengthen the circuits in the brain, the neurons fire together, then they wire together, those wires become neural pathways, and then now your whole pathways are wired around fight, flight, freeze, shutdown, emotional overwhelm, right? Colombians too. Cool, so we're yellers, it's fine. But right now, for example, so going off of the pathways that we're just talking about, we're wired around fight, flight, freeze, shutdown, emotional overwhelm. So for example, if your child talks back, your chest tightens, you snap, you feel guilty, you spiral, you promise you'll do better, and then the whole cycle repeats, right? Because just because you're intending to be calmer next time, your behavior has to match it, right? You have to work on reprogramming that neural pathway that has always told you that yelling is the only way to respond to situations. Again, that loop exists because it's what you've trained it. And when we reprogram, don't think of it as fixing yourself, right? We're just reprogramming a neural pathway. We're starving that old neural pathway. We're done feeding it with the bullshit we've been feeding it for years. And now we're gonna build a new one. And the new ones are gonna be around emotional safety, regulation, high self-image, calm authority, magnetism, and confidence in motherhood, right? So feelings and emotions are created by the limbic system, primarily the amygdala and the hypothalamus, which trigger the release of chemicals into the body and brain. When you attach emotions to the new neural pathway, then you reprogram it to be your new identity. So it's crazy how much the brain handles it all, right? But once your body feels calm, then it feels safe, then it feels confident, and that becomes who you are. That becomes who you show up as, and that's how you can now choose to react to that versus yelling all the time. And this is how you reprogram anything. But today we're focusing on feeling calm in motherhood, feeling grounded, regulated, and magnetic in your body. But you can apply the same process to anything. You can apply it to money, confidence, relationships, like literally anything. Anyways, moving on to the third part of the brain, we have the cerebellum. This is activated through repetition and action. When you repeatedly respond differently, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions align, then the cerebellum stores this as an implicit memory. So think of them as like core memories and automatic responses. So calm becomes automatic, presence becomes automatic, confidence becomes automatic, and yelling is no longer your go-to emotion when anything happens. This is when your new identity starts radiating through your creator field and people start responding to you differently. Your kids, your partner, everyone. And you're no longer getting triggered over the silly little things that used to throw you into a tizzy, right? So I don't know if you guys have seen, most of you guys are moms, so you probably have, but the movie Inside Out, they actually did a really good job on showing you how the brain stores emotional memories and runs behaviors. If you haven't seen it, 10/10 recommend. It's a great movie, even if you don't have kids. But it really does break down the brain and like how it all comes together and how you need the emotion to tie into neural pathways and things like that. But anyways, so think of the world as just one big giant mirror of how you think, see, and feel about yourself. And this programs and dictates how people treat us. So unlike we were taught growing up, right? People treat you how to treat you, or people treat you how you treat you, not how you treat them. People, they feel in your energy whether they're conscious of it or not. And this is why awareness alone isn't enough. So even if you know your thoughts aren't supporting how you want to be, if you don't change them emotionally and behaviorally, nothing changes, unfortunately. You just keep responding from that old reprogramming, even though it no longer serves you. Yes? Okay, let me know how this is landing so far in the chat. Landing. Perfect, we love to hear it. Cool, so if we want to feel calm in motherhood and change the way you react, you have to start figuring out what's running the show and how you want to feel instead. So if your go-to emotion, like me, was always anger and it was always to yell, start thinking about why does that feel safe for you and who taught you to react that way. And these are just like journaling things to journal out later, but just to like get you to start thinking that it is a learned behavior. Who taught you that? Why does it feel safe? Why is that your go-to reaction? And why does it feel safe for you to react that way? Okay, cool. So now we're gonna dive into victim mentality. So victim mentality is when you refuse to take any responsibility for anything bad or negative that has ever happened to you in your life. You blame everyone. You blame your parents for raising you this way, your kids for acting out, your high school ex-boyfriend for being emotionally abusive, your boss for being an asshole to you and making you feel bad about yourself. I don't know, your husband not treating you how you desire to be treated. If those things would have never happened to me, I'd feel so much happier, right? Like refusing to take any ownership. Or I'd be further along in life if insert whatever you think would make you feel better if you didn't go through those situations. But what happens is when we stay in that mindset, we stay in the same loop of the poor, pitiful me, the world's out to get me. Everyone just has it so much better than I do, right? And when you believe those things to be true, you create more situations, circumstances, and events that prove that true to your brain. When you fully believe something and emotionally feel tied to it, you've created a neural pathway around this, meaning it's now programmed into your creator field. Meaning that's now the script that's radiating off of your creator field. So if it's like bad things always happen to me, you're gonna create more bad things happening to you. If it's I'll never have the life I desire, you won't. If I'm unhappy in life, you'll continue to be unhappy and you'll continue to find more reasons to be unhappy, right? But it doesn't have to stay this way forever. We just have to start rewiring that neural pathway to see these situations differently. We have to choose to see them as growth opportunities and how they actually massively benefited us in one way or another, which can be tricky. I'm not saying this work is easy, right? If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But when I was pregnant with Tatum, oh my God, you guys, I was so fucking depressed. I thought my value had tanked. Now, did it actually tank? No, but I did tank my value in my creator field because I felt like I wasn't valuable. I felt worthless. I felt, the list goes on, right? But what this did was program into my creator field that I am unvaluable and I am worthless. And do you know what happened? I created more situations, circumstances, and events that proved this true to my brain. And my job that I was working at the time that I was obsessed with, I mean, I had worked there for years, was always a top performer. They started treating me exactly how I was treating myself. So much so that my manager pulled me into a one-on-one meeting and told me that since I had that baby, they weren't seeing the same value that I used to bring to the team, even though I was still a top performer, which was funny, right? Bitches, right? But I was crushed, right? And then I started beating myself mentally even more, and I was so hard on myself, telling myself I had ruined my life, I had ruined my career. It got worse because I didn't see the reflection, I didn't heal it, right? And I kept beating myself up even more. Because at the end of the day, they were just treating me how I was treating me. But they ended up putting me on a performance plan and harassed me so much that I ended up literally having to file a lawsuit, and I was devastated, right? Because I loved this fucking job. And even though I won the lawsuit because I had all the physical evidence of what was going on, didn't make me feel better. I was still so upset. Poor pitiful Keisha. You just have a shitty life compared to everyone else. Everyone else gets to have it easy, right? And I kept creating more circumstances like that. And after sitting in that energy for years, about 3 years to be exact, this wasn't a quick healing journey, let me tell you what. Was it? Now me as an HR girly saying lawsuit. Don's like, oh no. Sorry, we won't say triggering words anymore. But after sitting in that energy for years, I finally got into this work and I healed it. And I realized that the situation was actually the best fucking thing that's ever happened to me my entire life. And I know what you're thinking, like, Keisha, that sounds terrible. Like, what the hell do you even mean? But I had to force myself to find the golden nuggets and the lessons that I learned along the way so I could fully rewire that neural pathway. So some examples I'll give you. Because of that job situation and, trigger warning, Dawn, lawsuit, I have the business I have now where I work for myself, I create my own hours, I have the freedom and flexibility to do what I've always desired, right? Realistically, if I wanted to travel tomorrow and work from the hotel room, I could. I loved that job so much and that company so much that I never would have left on my own. Truly, it had to be that dramatic in order for me to leave, unfortunately. I hit my lowest of lows, which threw me into this work. I learned how to heal the trauma, which is why I'm here teaching you now. It made me realize I'm replaceable everywhere in my life except with my kids, or at the time, kid. It made me realize I got to spend more time with my daughter and actually watch her grow up versus handing her to someone every single day from 9 to 5. No shade if that's what you do. I'm not calling anyone out. It made me connect to my innate value. And when you're so internally connected to the value that you're bringing to the world by simply existing, no one can take that away from you. And it allowed me to find true internal happiness, all by learning to heal depression and anxiety at the root without medication, right? So how you heal the trauma at the root is not trauma dumping every day, reliving every bad situation that you've ever been in, crying about it and talking about it over and over again, talking about it every day for a year, whatever, insert whatever hard way they tell you that you have to heal your trauma. It's you actively choosing to, goals, thanks Nat. It's you actively choosing to see it differently and finding the golden nuggets it's taught you along the way. And I get it, maybe your traumatic is more dramatic, maybe it's more intense. I get it. I was mentally and physically abused by an ex-boyfriend for 3 years, 3 fucking years, right? But you know what? I still chose to find like the golden nuggets that taught me because one, it actually made me listen to the red flags when someone shows you them at the beginning instead of being going, oh, I'm crazy, it's fine, that's normal, right? It made me start to connect me to my intuition and listen to my intuition. It taught me, you know, after I was in the trenches for a while that I am fucking worthy and didn't deserve to be treated that way. To know what it looks and feels like so I can help others in those situations. Because one thing about me is I was really good at hiding it, right? No one knew I was going through that. It catapulted my self-image and self-worth growth because I got to my lowest of lows. It's what led me to move to Washington, D.C., which is where I met Chris, and now I have Tatum because of it, right? So that alone, worth it all. And again, because I went through all of it and I learned how to heal it, I get to teach it and help others now. Because unfortunately, right, I'm not the only person in the world that's ever been mentally and physically abused. So I get to be someone that gets to advocate and help others, right? And again, without this, I wouldn't have the business and I damn sure wouldn't have the life that I have now. And on that note, could you even imagine how awful it would feel to not live your life to the fullest, to not be successful in your career, all because some man decided to treat you like shit? You're gonna give him that kind of power? When I woke up one day and I was like, over my dead fucking body will this man keep holding me back from my potential, right? Because you didn't see it. and that's how I light a fire under my house, right? I take every situation and I find the good things and I'm like, wait, I'm just gonna use that as motivation, right? Because we can choose to see things negatively or You can take it and turn it into motivation and use it as fuck you energy and be like, well, I'm gonna heal my shit and I'm gonna do this, this, and this like I said I would. And then guess what? You don't care anymore because you've healed it. Who knows what they're doing and who cares? And you feel great, right? Because you're no longer sitting in that victim mentality of this is how life has to be, poor pitiful Keisha, right? So by you choosing to heal from it, you're automatically taking that control back in your own life, and you get to decide what your life looks like, no one else. Yes, let me know how it's landing in the chat. Let me go through and read some of the chat. I haven't been reading much. Oh yes, Twiggy, thank you. If you hopped on late, the MILFU link, Twiggy, will you drop the link? I'm running a limited time offer during this call. If you join MILFU, you get a free private one-on-one session, plus you get $100 off with code TRAUMA. Only during the call though. Once the call ends, my team knows what time it ends. I'm gonna text them and then it's cut off. No more free private sessions. So happy to be here. Yay, happy to have you, Miss Kaylee Queen. Bitches. Y'all are so funny. Perfect. Okay, cool. The airplane. Y'all are so funny. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna let you guys, I have journal prompts for you guys that we're gonna work through, and then we're gonna do a Q&A. Hold on, let me see what Caroline said. How can you stop seeing money as worth like you earned? Hold on, Caroline, let me finish, and then will you ask this again? And I'm totally happy to answer this for you, but if I answer it now, I'm gonna lose track. Who knows how long this meeting will be. We'll end up way over here. Okay, so today, what we covered so far is just the tip on the freaking iceberg. I want you guys to fully like soak this in. We learned so much more about this in MILFU, but for today, it's a good stopping point so we can let it digest and like fully take in what we learned. But the point of it is choosing to start to see the traumatic events differently. When you start to see them differently, it's how you start to rewire that neural pathway. And you have to choose to rewire that neural pathway each and every day. Unfortunately, just after doing it one time, it's not going to rewire. It takes time. It can take 4 to 6 weeks. If it's a deeper thing, maybe it takes a few months, right? But it takes time. Give yourself grace. And just by you choosing to show up and rewire that neural pathway, you're already setting yourself up for success, right? And think about all the people in the world that are choosing to not heal anything. You're already ahead of them because you're choosing to actively work on yourself each and every day. And again, if it were easy, everyone would be doing it. Everyone would be fucking healed and happy and rainbows and sunshine, right? But this work is tough and it's uncomfortable. So it's why you should be proud of yourself for even taking the steps to showing up today. So I'm proud of all of you guys. Jot that down on your list today. Keisha's proud of you. But inside MILFU, we're not labeling things as triggers and moving on with it, right? Like we break it down like this: while your chest tightens when your kid whines, why your jaw clenches when your partner doesn't help, why noise makes you rage, why you shut down instead of responding, why your body feels heavy and inflamed and exhausted for no medical reason, right? Each and every reaction has an emotional root, and we learn what those are and how to heal them inside of MILFU with my method that I came up with, the MILF Body Code method. I named that myself. I'm very proud of it. So anyway, MILFU is fully upgraded and it's a live container this round, right? So this round is completely taught live by me. It's 8 weeks and it's not something that you're just watching. I mean, you could watch it while you're doing things, but it is taught live. So you're getting me live. We're having a group chat full of women who are living in the same reality. If you're feeling overstimulated, emotionally fried, touched out, resentful, guilty about it, you get the gist, right? We're all in there to learn and shift together. So inside we're doing things like healing deep-rooted trauma that's running your reactions, tracing the physical and emotional symptoms back to the emotional root causes, again, using the MILF Body Code method. We're clearing stored emotional responses that your body keeps replaying, clearing the dark force energy so you're not carrying that shit that's not yours, and we're rebuilding your self-image so your confidence isn't situational. And here's the part nobody talks about. When your body isn't in survival anymore, you change, not because you're trying, but because you're not leaking tension everywhere you go. You stop snapping and spiraling in guilt. You stop feeling like motherhood erased you. And you stop feeling like you're barely holding it together. You feel grounded, present, confident in your body again. And I can tell you from experience, you start to feel hot again. Not because you've changed your body, but because you've changed how safe it feels to be in it. And as a byproduct, you start to feel more magnetic and confident. And you don't have to keep reacting from the wounds that you've picked up years ago. You don't have to stay stuck in those patterns that were formed in survival And you don't have to let your past dictate your motherhood, your body, or your identity. You get to rewire it. And so that's what we're doing inside MILF. And again, don't forget, once the call ends, that offer expires. I have a free session and $100 off. So I'm gonna go through the journal prompts that I have for you guys. I'm gonna put them in the chat. Everyone, if you want to do these after class, copy them and save them, because once I hang up the call, you won't get the chat. So copy these and paste them, but I'm gonna go over them too, don't worry. What'd you say, Twiggy? We're already shifting by being here. No, truly, we are. Okay. So these are energy shifting journal prompts. So these are going to get your brain start to think differently so that you can see your situations differently, so that we can start to rewire those neural pathways. But think about, what is one situation lately that keeps setting you off? When it happens, what do I immediately think about myself? When I get triggered, where do I feel it in my body first? If that sensation could talk, what would it say? And finish these sentences without overthinking it. When I feel overwhelmed, it means blank about me. Where do I remember learning that belief? Right now, I most identify as a mom who blank. The version of me I actually want to be feels blank. And what would she believe in the exact same situation? And then we have, the thought I keep feeding on repeat is blank. The thought I'm choosing to practice instead is blank. In one small way, I can act like the new thought is true today is blank. So again, these are all going to start to get your brain to think differently. I will warn you, the brain is very stubborn. What happens is our ego that we have been identifying with for however old you are, right, years and years and years, feels like it's going to start losing its job, right? Because it technically is. We're learning to think differently. We want new neural pathways. We don't want to react the same way anymore. So once you start to reprogram this, you will feel a little bit resistance, and that's okay. It's totally normal. Just keep doing it anyway. The more you do it, again, the easier it gets. The brain is just stubborn. Cool. Okay, I'm going to open it up for questions. Let me read Carolina's. Okay, how can you stop seeing money equals worth? Like, you are worthy even though you're not making enough money. What do you mean? Like, you're feeling like you can talk to me, Carolina. But like, you're feeling not worthy because you're not making money. Is that what you're asking? Oh, is it headphones? I just want to make sure I'm answering the right thing.
Yeah, it's like trying not to see worth as equal money. Like if you're not making enough money, you don't feel worthy enough.
Okay. So
like, you see the same thing as worth as money as worth.
So you're linking money to worth. Okay, think of, we're gonna get conspiracy and dark here for a minute. Think about the dark elites that run the world that are billionaires. Are they worthy of having money? Even though they're literally read the Epstein files, they're literally killing children, molesting children, doing whatever they're doing, right? They're not worthy, and they're billionaires. Right? So start finding reasons. All you have to do is find examples and prove it not to be true. So like Bill Gates, it's not someone that I would trust, right? I wouldn't say he's worthy of the billions that he's created. So like finding people that you know aren't worthy because of money and being like, okay, so money doesn't actually equal worth, right? Or value, however you want to spin it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. You're welcome. That was a very drastic example, but I knew it would land with you. Okay, Miss Cam said, I've been working on seeing the positive for a while, but I find myself stuck because I end up being triggered big time, especially around, chat's moving, childhood trauma that still impacts my life now, and fall back into victim mentality. I don't know how to break this loop and actually connect to the positive without falling back into victim mode and shift for good. You're not emotionally connecting. When I look at how much you're emotionally connecting, Cam, you're 12% connected. So you're kind of going, like what I was saying at the beginning, like logically you're connecting, you're being like, oh, I see this positive, I see that positive. You're not emotionally connected, so it's not shifting. When you're doing it and you're providing a positive example, or providing like a positive, like oh, it helped me heal this. I don't know, whatever helped you heal. Find an exact example to prove that to be true. When you can find an exact example to prove it true to your brain, you'll emotionally connect and you can actually shift it. Because yeah, to your point, if you're sitting there connecting logically all day and finding positive, it's not going to shift for you, which is why you feel like you've been doing it for so long. Presley, is there information overlap between MILFU and intuition? No, so MILFU, there's no intuition training in MILFU. MILFU is strictly trauma healing, a little bit of self-image healing, and energetic root cause and body healing. Great question. Sierra, yeah, I'm in a space where I get triggered and yell in the moment. It's like I'm standing next to myself, seeing myself react. Oh, no, I've been there 100%. It's like you're seeing yourself react and you're like, I don't know how to stop it. You have to start finding, and it comes from a safety thing, which I get it. I told you guys, I used to yell all the damn time. I mean, I still yell sometimes, let's be honest. I'm not perfect, and I'm not ever going to tell you guys that I am, but have I immensely shifted this and healed it? Yes, and I don't feel like I'm a victim to like my emotions anymore. But what I had to start doing was find people, Sierra, who you know react in a way that you would like to react. And if you don't know anyone, like go online, find someone that you can like look up to that reacts in a way that you want to act. Like, oh, they're so calm. You know what I mean? What you have to prove to your brain that it's true to even react that way. Because if you're like me and you didn't grow up in an environment where any damn person in your life was calm, you're right, it's not anything that you know how to do, so it's unsafe. Even though, yeah, you don't want to act like that, it's unsafe to your body. Your body doesn't know how to handle a calm situation, right? So it's finding people that are reacting in the way that you want to do. There, you're already providing yourself example, like, oh, it's possible. And then you have to start choosing micro moments to react that way, right? So I'm not going to lie to you and tell you like, oh yeah, after you find that person, you're going to be healed for good, right? Like, no, you're going to have to actively choose to react differently, but make it very micro. It doesn't have to be that you stop yelling forever, but maybe you don't yell when he's, I don't know, having an emotional outburst. Like, I'm making these up, you get my point, but just choosing micro moments and how to react in them versus like fully going from A to Z, right? I went full on rage. I believe that, Kelly, I do. Patrick, I live with an abusive father and it's so limiting for me in every way possible. I can't go to the kitchen when he's there because he still screams at me and commands me to complain if he doesn't speak. Okay, so I mean, find the positive in it. Like, yes, if you're still in the situation, I'm not telling you it's going to be great, but you can still find what he's teaching you. Like when he's yelling at you, how does it make you feel? Does it light a fire under your ass? Is it making you want to move out? Maybe it's making you move out quicker, right? Maybe it's teaching you when you're a father, how you want to react differently. Like there's gifts here. You just have to choose to find them. But no, I totally agree when you're in the moment, right? It's very hard to figure it out in the moment. I would say calm down first and then look into this. Like even for myself, when I'm triggered, I have to I mean, it depends what the trigger is, right? If it's something small, I have to give myself a moment and calm down and then I can work through it, but it takes time. And it took me a while to get to that point, right? Like it didn't happen overnight. Miss Taylor said, is there forgiveness that has to happen to heal self-worth, forgive ourselves or parents, etc.? Like, is it a tear healing? Oh, good question. I mean, I definitely would recommend, like, as parents for sure, I know you're not a mom, Taylor, but like as parents for sure, I definitely would do like a healing letter to yourself, like just forgiving yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're doing the best with what you have. You're not choosing to react from this way, right? It's a taught trauma response that you're having. So choosing to write a letter to yourself of like why you forgive yourself, like Keisha, you were doing the best that you had with what you had, now you're choosing to heal it, whatever. But yeah, I've done that before too, and I do feel lighter afterwards. It makes me realize like, okay, like I'm learning a massive lesson. She's learning a lesson, right, in some way or another, and now it gets to end at me. She doesn't have to grow up when she's 30 and yelling at everyone like I did, right? Great question. Yeah, I would recommend a forgiveness letter. So even if it's not, you could do it for like I know you're not a mom, but maybe you go off on your mom, right? And you have guilt about it. Like anything that you hold guilt about, I would for sure do a guilt or a forgiveness letter and just like releasing that guilt as to why you did the best with what you could, right? Okay, Miss Katie Queen. I have a ton of built up anger, but grew up in a home where we didn't really express emotion. Same. We had to go to our rooms and cry. God forbid you shed a tear. Anyways. Yeah, see, you have to laugh at it now because you know what? If you don't laugh, you cry. However, my parents never yelled at me. I'm not sure where this anger is coming from for me, why it feels like a safe response now. Is it just a new thing for me or a trauma response? Oh, because you're pissed the fuck off about it. Your rage about this is at 98%. And it's like you're mad because you felt like you could never use your voice and it wasn't safe to use it. So it's not that you're just like super angry at them. Like, sure, is there a piece of anger around them? Absolutely. But it's more so the belief that it's unsafe to use your voice doesn't matter, and you can't express your emotion, which is why the anger's still there, which is why you're reacting now. Let me tell you, same. Because when I had thyroid problems that I healed, but when I started healing that and the way I started using my voice, I was like, oh God, just let a beast out. But connect to Katie, why that's like perfect that you're reacting that way now. Like, find the perfection in it. Sure, are you arguing with your husband or whoever? Yes, but like, why is it the best thing ever? Well, you're actually being brave and using your voice and you're speaking your truth and whatever. The more you can connect to how it's massively benefiting you, the less guilt you're gonna have, and then your husband's not gonna care, right? He's gonna be like, oh yeah, you're right. You've never expressed yourself. I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? Kaylee said, can you briefly touch on healing your endometriosis? I had a third, I can't say this word, I'm not going to try in November. Yes, so you'll have to break it down per symptom. So everything energetic wise is based per symptom instead of a big like blanket statement like endometriosis. Only because everyone experiences different symptoms. So if I tell you a blanket way to heal endometriosis and those aren't even the symptoms you're having, it's not going to heal. But I would start with healing for you specifically, Kaylee, like you have a lot of stored anger towards men, whether it's a father figure, ex-boyfriend, whoever. Start by doing anger letters. Everyone can do this. If there's someone in your life that you know you're still holding trauma onto and you're like really, really mad at them, start doing anger letters. You're not going to give them the letter, so don't worry, but get every single thing that you can think about out, like, fuck you for this, I can't believe you treated me like this, whatever. And then go outside and burn it. Or if you're not as extreme, just rip it up and throw it in the toilet. But I personally like to burn things. It makes me feel like a badass. But it'll help you start to get that anger out. And then you can go from there. But a lot of it right now is, I would say 89% of it right now is anger, just stored anger there. Miss Presley said, I don't react or yell much with my kids, but I have major trauma from my babies in the NICU and can't ever think about it without crying. Oh, totally, I bet. Because you have twins, right? So they probably came early, I'm assuming. Start connecting to, let me see. You could also connect this one to like what it taught you. Like, I mean, now you're grateful you have the girls, you have healthy babies. But connect to like in that moment, what did it teach you? And it taught you a lot about like, when I'm reading your creator field, like it made you more empathetic. It made you more like aware, I guess, of others in your life, of like certain things that were going on. And it's made you very like, not that you weren't grateful for the life that you had, but it's made you super grateful and made you like really excited to be a mom. Again, not that you weren't before, it's just connecting you there even deeper, but just finding things that you can connect into why, even though it was very traumatic, like why it actually did help you in the long run. Oh, perfect, Sierra. Okay, Miss Erica said, is there a difference from being stern and strict and like yelling? What's the line? Great question, Erica. I mean, it probably depends per person, honestly, because to me, if you're saying stern and strict, I'm like, oh, there's just rules. But like yelling to me is like you're getting screamed at for something. Like when I say yelling, like I remember one time Tatum, like she was, I don't know what she did. She was playing and she knocked over her milk and it went everywhere in the damn kitchen. And the first thing I did was start yelling and I was like, pick it up. And then that's when I had my aha moment of like, why am I yelling? All I gotta do is get a wet paper towel and wipe this up. Like, she's only 2. And that's what kind of threw me on this tizzy and this journey. So like, to me, when I'm saying yelling, it's like an overreaction of things, not necessarily like having a rule. Like Tatum does still have rules, right? Like she goes to school, she has some chores that she does, but I've learned how to respond without yelling because I'm triggered and I don't know how to like respond in a different way.
Okay, that answers my question. Sorry guys, I'm in the bathroom slowly.
Perfect. Welcome.
But, so I think it's more because of the trauma in my childhood. Like, I'm like literally helping my boyfriend with his stepson.
Uh-huh.
Like, now I guess he's my stepson. And And I feel like I just feel so guilty when I hold him accountable and I'm being stolen, and I feel this guilt, but I think it's because I'm so scared of like messing him up the way I was messed up. Does that make sense?
Yes, I was about to say that. No, you're actually, yeah, you're so scared of like feeling the way that you felt in childhood. You don't want anyone to feel how you felt.
Okay, so I'm not mean. I'm just like, it's okay to like hold a line.
Yeah, you can have roles. It's okay.
Okay, thanks, guys.
But you can also, Erica, start connecting to like get crystal clear on like, okay, how did I feel in childhood and how do I not want to treat my kids in the future, right? It's just getting clear on it and then you figuring out like, okay, well, a rule like going to bed at 9 p.m., like that's not traumatizing, but me like screaming because he spilt something in the floor that was unnecessary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Okay,
Perfect.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Sierra said, I just want to figure out why I get so triggered and angry. I'm so sick of it. I got you, girl. Milf you. We're diving deep. Miss Jera said, I feel like I'm becoming my stepdad. We had to tiptoe around his emotions. I know the root for me is the complications I have after birth, but it's not my husband or daughter's fault. I just want to stop being angry and reactive. So thank you for this. Oh my God, of course. Yeah, Jera, find like even your stepdad, find reasons. I had to do this with my own father. Why he's the best parent that you could have had. And I know it's very hard at first because you're like, what do you mean? Like, I literally don't want to act like him. No, my dad, let me tell you what. I love this man. He's hilarious. But like, my aunt's here. She can vouch. He's a piece of work. Like, if your self-image is low, the man is going to come after you. Like, I grew up all my life being told how fat I was or how ugly I was or you're going to wear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was always something. He was always yelling at me for something, right? So yes, when I first started this, I'm like, fuck him, I hate him. But as I like started healing and actually realizing how massively beneficial he was, like he was showing me right when my self-image was in the trash can. And did he always amplify how I was feeling about myself? Yes, he did. And it catapulted me into this work, right? Because I always heard his damn voice in my head being like, you're getting Toby. You're going to wear that today. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to find the love and appreciation for it, which I'm not telling you guys that you're gonna see it after one day, right? Like, this is shit that takes time. It took me years. I'd be lying if I told you I even healed it in a year. I think it probably took me a good 18 months to 2 years, but it's finding the gift that it, by them treating you that way, like the gift that it brought you. For me personally, it lit a fire under my ass and it's a lot of my motivation because even though it was like self-image triggers or he was yelling at me for something, I always hear his voice like, You're gonna let that person tell you can't do something. You're gonna, or I remember I'd come home like being bullied. So beat their ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I turned all of that hatred into motivation, which has now like flourished my business, right? And now I appreciate him on such a deeper level. Now I've had to go through the whole forgiveness thing, the anger, absolutely, and it took me time to get there. But start finding ways of like how it's made you a better person. And even by you being aware of you not wanting to act like that, that's huge, right? Like it's opening up your eyes to like wounds that maybe you didn't know were there in the first place. Sierra said, yes, I've been getting better lately, and he's getting angry and has meltdowns after, I don't know, I feel... Oh, the 4-year-old, yes. Poor guy. I'll be trying to get ahead of this ASAP. Oh, girl, I get you. You're doing it at a great time. The baby's still little, right? You get to heal and be that example for her. Taylor said, is there forgiveness that has to happen to heal? Oh, I've already read that one, sorry. Okay, so we use our words, LOL. Why do I explode? Because my mother was passive aggressive and manipulating. I would say, yeah, that's about 70% of it, but you're also missing out on your dad. There's a lot of anger and hatred that you have for your dad as well that you haven't even tapped into. Sure, work through your mom. Like, I would say start there. That's like the biggest tip of or the biggest piece of like the pie. How does she massively benefit you? She lit a fire under your ass too, right? Like, kind of like my dad. Like, you hear that voice in the back of your head and you're like, oh, I can't let her be right. What do you mean? Yeah. So start connecting. Start connecting to that, and then I would say once you work through that, go in on your dad. Your dad's going to be a whole different level. His is going to be more around like emotional availability. You never felt.
I originally thought this was him, and then I realized that it was still her.
It's a lot of her. His is going to be around like emotional availability, like feeling like, and it's not anything in his fault. He didn't know how to be emotional available. It's not anything he was taught, right? So he didn't teach you guys how to be emotionally available. So then you had to like learn, and you're still learning.
Yeah, and I'm ancient.
Yeah. What Taylor say? How do you handle anger? Where's your Mars in astrology chart? I don't know, Taylor. You tell me. You did my chart read. I think Mars was Aries, wasn't it? I don't remember. I just remember you told me to always go work out. Because I can't drink because I had to hand them the letter. No, literally one time, you guys. I wasn't drinking. I was sober, but I wrote one. This is like years ago when I was like first starting this, and I hated Chris. I hated Chris. He knows this. I'm not saying anything he doesn't know. But anyway, so I wrote him an anger letter, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to text it to him, and I did. I don't recommend. Learn from my mistake.
I love that.
Oh, yep. Fun times. All right, Miss Emily said, I'm not a big yeller, but I lose patience very quickly and become stern. My 4-year-old whines a lot. That is my biggest trigger. I have found myself sending him to his room. Can you help me understand why I'm so quick to anger when he has such big emotions over small things? Like I said, I don't have a huge reaction, but I have no patience for it. Girl, I totally get it. Yours I'm getting is more, yes, patience in a sense, but it's overstimulation. Like as soon as you get overstimulated, your go-to reaction is to like shut it down and get angry and send him to his room, because it feels like that's how you were, like your parents were to you as a kid. Like they didn't know how to handle it either. And I get it, because Tatum's, girl, she's a Scorpio, and those Scorpio emotions are a lot. And I'm having to learn how to deal with those every day of my life. You know what? Sometimes I feel like I'm fighting for my life before getting through it. But it's finding like how to react in overstimulation and how to, yes, be grateful for it, but like what can you do? What plans can you put in place to implement when you are feeling overstimulated? Personally, I have to take myself to a different room for a minute, and then I can come back and I'm fine. If I don't go to a different room, I do find myself like snapping, not snapping, but like you're saying, like being stern and being like, okay, you've got to go to your room for a little bit. Taylor Mom.
Okay, so I'm not necessarily harming him.
Yeah, no, you're not harming him. Great question.
It's not long. It's like a couple minutes, and then he's like, "Can I have a hug?" I'm like, yes.
No, I understand.
but feels like my brain's melting.
I know, and then you feel
like,
so guilty.
It.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I don't show it, but I'm struggling internally.
Mm-hmm. You got this. I understand. These kids, man.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Twiggy. Just a reminder, we're ending in about 5 minutes, so if you want, or 10 minutes, 5 minutes, no, yeah. If you want the MILFU free private session and $100 off, here's the link in the chat. Twiggy so kindly put there for us. Ruthless. Taylor, your commentary, like, iconic, truly. Okay. Presley said, just want to clarify, the trauma healing in MILFU can be any trauma, or does it relate to any kids? It can be a good Twiggy answer. It can be any trauma. The examples I'm going to use are mostly kid related, but it can be any trauma. You don't have to nail it down to only kids. It'll work for anything. Nat said, I get that. I'm a Scorpio and my baby's a Scorpio. My poor husband. Listen, my brother's a Scorpio, and so I always saw his crazy emotions. But like, that was my brother, like I could just go away, right? But now it's my child. I'm like, oh man, how do I help her with these? How do we not explode? Oh yes, Erica, great question. It's, oh, Twiggy got you. Trauma for $100 off. Okay, cool guys. Yay. Do we have any other last minute questions? We got about 5 minutes left. Or we could end in a meditation. But I'll let you guys decide. Okay, let's do a meditation. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna do an energy recovery. So if we all detox after, I'm sorry, but also you're welcome because it'll be a great time. Okay, everyone get comfortable and close your eyes. This is gonna be the sped up version, but that's okay. An energy recovery is an energy recovery. Okay, cool. So I want everyone to get comfortable, release the tension again in your shoulders and in your neck and in your jaw. Good. And I want you to visualize a giant empty snow globe about 12 feet in front of you. And we're going to set the intention that all of the energy from people, places, circumstances, and events from now until conception that made you feel like you weren't in control of your emotions, that your emotions were too much, and you couldn't fully authentically be yourself because you were holding back what you needed to say or feel, come into the snow globe now. Good, and you're gonna see it start to fill with a gray, murky energy. Maybe you see an exact event happen. Trust whatever it is that you're seeing. If you're seeing nothing at all, no worries. I'm doing all the energy work for you. Good. Now we're gonna set the intention that all of the energy that is not energetically, mentally, physically, emotionally ours come out now. And you're gonna see a gray, murky energy leaving your body. And keep pulling and pulling and pulling it out. Good, and we're gonna cut it off in 3, 2, 1 and set it to the left. Now we're gonna set the intention that all of the energy that is energetically, mentally, physically, and emotionally ours come out now. And you're gonna see a beautiful golden energy leaving the snow globe. And keep pulling and pulling and pulling it out. And we're gonna cut it off and set it to the right in 3, 2, 1. Good. Now you're gonna see a cord connecting you from your belly button to the snow globe, and we're gonna blow that up with a blue fiery explosion. We're gonna take the energy on the left, and we're gonna send it back into the snow globe to its divine rightful owners. We're gonna take the energy on the right, and we're gonna connect it to the gold energy coming from God Source Universe, the pink energy coming from the core of the earth, and we're gonna see a third goldish white energy cleanse, clear, and charge this to the highest vibration we can vibrate at right now. We're going to see this energy start to enter through your heart, and it's going to fill your entire body, every hair, every cell, and every limb. Good, and when it's all back in your body, you can open your eyes. Okay, yay, great job today, guys. Again, warning, you might detox a little bit from that. When I say detox, maybe you smell a little funky, maybe you get diarrhea. It'll be minor things, okay? It won't be anything crazy. But if you have some minor things going on, it's just the old, basically what happens is it's like an energetic surgery. So you're taking all of that old energy that's been stored in your body and we're releasing it. So out with the old and in with the new. And then I'm gonna put the journal prompts in the chat one more time, just in case you guys didn't get them. And then a last call for $100 off and a free private session for Mel for you. Cool. Any last questions, guys? I'm currently sick. Maybe it'll detox. It's literally a 2-for-1. Get it all out. Okay, yay! Well, great job today, guys. I love seeing all your faces, or for some of you, your names, because I can't see your face. Love seeing you all here. Yay, bye, guys.